What up, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing? I am the immortal Kevin Donovan. Welcome back to the channel. I have been absent for a little while, taking a quick break. I had a lot of other things going on. I'm starting my pool season. I run a small pool business. I'm busy setting that up, getting that running. I've been working a lot of hours lately. I haven't had a lot of time to shoot videos. Also, hadn't had a lot of inspiration lately because my mind's been getting pulled in a lot of different angles. So I thought of something today, and I figured, you know what? Why not shoot another video? I'll be back at it. You like your shirt? I don't know. It's red. It's people told me that it looks like the McDonald's employees, the McDonald's employee shirt, because it's got the black with, and it's got the black on it, and I don't know, on these parts here. I don't know. I don't think it's a McDonald's shirt. It was just a nice golf shirt. I thought I'd wear that, but whatever. If you like it, hit like on the video. If you don't like it, hit like on the video and then leave a comment telling me why. Anyway, I'd like to get into this video, and I wanted to talk about the differences between men and women. I wanted to talk about not sexuality, but the way men and women are treated just because they're male or female. Now, I don't want to offend anybody that is trans or identifies as something other than that. This isn't a negative thing against that. I'm not trying to slander anybody. I'm just speaking as a straight white guy, and I'm talking about my friend group and the experiences I had and the things that I know that happened and things that have been backed up by other females. So this is just male to female, and I'm not trying to exclude or diss anybody else. This is just in my realm where I'm coming from. So it was an interesting thing. I myself probably not going to rank up there on the GQ list. I'm probably not going to make the cover of the GQ magazine anytime soon. I think I'm attractive, but I don't know where other people rate me. And typically, I don't garner a lot of attention. Just the way it is. I think I'm just an average dude. I walk through life doing my thing. I'm not a Henry Cavill. Is that Henry Cavill? He's Superman nowadays, right? Is that Henry Cavill? He's a stud. Or my favorite Marvel character, Thor, played by Chris Hemsworth. He's a dime piece. But I don't look like them. I'm not that like, oh, look at that guy. I don't have that. I'm just a regular guy. So it's interesting that through my life I've been treated as such, and I've had friends of mine that were girls, females, that were very, very attractive. And we were just friends. I didn't ever date them or anything like that, but I definitely saw the experiences that they had in life and saw how the world treated them compared to how the world treated me, and I found that very interesting. And what shot this all off was I'd been getting messages. I'm not going to tell you on which social media platform, but I've been getting messages from a nice young woman who is starting to get a little more and more suggestive about things. Now, I don't know how to deal with that because I never got that. That was never in my wheelhouse. I've never had to deal with that. And it's on the verge of sexual harassment. I think it is. I don't know. I've never really been sexually harassed before. I don't know how that works. It is an interesting issue that was brought up to me, and it made me think about there's these big differences. How women get more sexualized than men, and how society has been training us to do those things. Like I said, I'm just an average guy. I never garnered a lot of attention. I'm not a physical specimen when I walk into a place. People aren't just like, whoa, look at that guy. I wish they were. But now that I've been going through this a little bit, I don't know that I wish that I was. It's an interesting feeling. It makes me kind of go, oh, I don't want that. And now it gives me a slight perspective of what I'm sure other women go through. Other women, like I'm a woman. It gives me a slight perspective of what women go through when that happens to them. And it's creepy and gross. And dudes got to stop doing that. Here's what I mean. I've been putting out these videos. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to put my views out to the world and explain how I see life. And hopefully somebody gets something out of it. Hopefully somebody likes these videos and shares them. And, we can make a good positive message come out of this. So I'm starting to get a little more attention, starting to get more messages. People are reaching out, which is great, and I appreciate that. I really do. And this one girl was reaching out and, like I said, getting more and more suggestive, and I could not be less interested. I'm I'm not closed off to starting a relationship, but I'm not actively seeking one out either. And this young lady that's reaching out is like, I'm sure she's a good person. I'm sure she's really nice. I'm sure she has a lot of fine qualities. However, there's just nothing there for me. I don't think we key on a lot of the same things, and I'm just not interested at all. Yet she keeps shooting me messages, and I keep trying to politely decline them and politely be like, all right, that's enough. But until I get real bold and say, hey, quit fucking messaging me, I don't think she's going to stop. And now that's where this came in, like, oh, do women have to deal with this from dudes? I'm sure they do, because I see it all the time on Facebook. I'm seeing women constantly saying things like, if anybody else sends me a dick pic, I'm going to put you on blast. And I'm like, wow, guys, stop sending dick pics. It obviously doesn't work. So there was a friend of mine, and I'm not going to say her name. She's a really, really pretty girl. We used to hang out all the time. We used to go places. We were just friends. We never dated, nothing like that. But we would go to a place, and she would walk in and immediately garner attention. People would come up and greet her and ask her if she needed help, if they could help her find anything, if all her needs were being met while she was at that place, whether it was the bowling alley or a store or wherever. Walmart was a great example. You walk into Walmart, not one, but two, but three people right there. How you doing? Hi, 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 hi. Wanted to come up and say hello and talk to her just because she was a pretty girl. I would walk into Walmart, and there is an actual person, happened to be an old man at this point, who was a probably retired guy getting a part-time job. There was an old man, and his job is to greet people. His job is to stand at the door and say hello to people walking in. I walk in, this dude makes eye contact with me and does nothing. Nothing. He doesn't blink. He doesn't do one of those. Nothing. I was waiting to say, how you doing? Or hello. But I was waiting for him to say it first. Nothing. I walked into Walmart behind this girl. 3 people said hello to her and greeted her to the store, including that greeter. I walked in maybe about 5 to 10 paces behind her. I got nothing. No, they didn't even acknowledge me. The greeter looked at me. Nothing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, huh. Am I that hideous? Is there something wrong with me? Makes you think those things. Whatever. But I've never had to deal with that kind of stuff, so I don't know what it's like to be harassed or people to keep coming up to you and saying shit. I don't know. It never happened to me. One of the interesting things about young ladies that want to go out and have fun, they have to do it in a safe way. And I never even thought of that. That was never even in my wheelhouse. They can't go out by themselves. They can't get super wasted by themselves. They can't go party alone. They can't go to the bathroom alone. Some of them don't even go outside. Of the several that do, that I know of, that smoke cigarettes, don't even like going out and smoking a cigarette by themselves. They have to be in groups. They have to be in pairs. And you always thought, oh, girls go to the bathroom because that's what girls do. And I think they do that anyway because that's a camaraderie thing. I'm not sure about the girl world. But I do know for a fact that I've heard girls not do these things, not go out, not be around, because they didn't have backup with them. And to me, that's wild because it's never been in my wheelhouse. Like I said, not the most attractive man in the world. I'm not ugly, but not the most, not the GQ model. I never thought once about, I'm going to the bar by myself. Like, I just go to the bar. I'd go outside to have a cigarette. I just go out and have smoke. I'd walk down the street at night and I just go where I'm going. I would park my car out in a dark parking lot, get out, walk across the parking lot by myself, go do whatever I was doing, and I'd walk back to my car. And it never flashed in my head that something bad would happen to me. I guess it was an ignorance that I have a luxury there that a lot of, almost half the population doesn't get. And I was dumbfounded by that. My sister, my dear sister, Colleen, I'll tag you in this, or I'll set this up on Twitter or something. Posted an article one time, and I read it, and I thought it blew my mind. And it was a question, and it was somebody else had made a post, and she had taken the post and forwarded it. And the post was, all women respond to this. If all men had a 9 p.m. curfew, and they had to be home or locked up or away at 9 p.m., what would you do at night? And I was thinking, well, that's dumb. Who the hell cares? But then I started reading the responses to that, and the list was long. And at first I was blown away. How many women responded with the simplest things that they wanted to do just because men weren't around? A lot of them were just go outside, go for an evening walk or go for a jog, to go out and exercise at night because they'd like to do that, but they're scared for their safety. And I was like, really? Like, it never was in my wheelhouse, never crossed my mind that you couldn't just go outside and go for a walk. I thought you could do that. While you're legally allowed to do that, of course, you're free. There's certain dangers that come with that. Women can't do that by themselves. Going out for a walk, jogging, going to a bar, hanging out with their friends, going to listen to music, going out to shows, just going out and having an active social life was a prevalent response to that question. And I was like, wow, do men really cause that much of an issue? And I guess, yeah, we do. And it just blew my mind that guys like me never thought about that stuff. Didn't get it. And then once I read that article, I would start to sit back and I'd start to watch things. And I'd sit in my little bar in town and I'd watch, every once in a while, a group of girls would come in. All the dudes would go and give them too much attention. It's one thing to say, hey, how you doing? Or try and introduce yourself. Like, that's how we socialize. Like, there's a thing. Or if you know someone, you go and talk to them. Like, I get that. But some of these girls were they just wanted to hang out with their friends. They just wanted to come out with, 2 or 3 of their friends, have some drinks, have some laughs, listen to the band or, participate in trivia, and then go home. They didn't want every single guy in that bar coming up and shooting a shot at them. They didn't want that. Now, I'm not saying that's every time and that's all women, but that's just what I observed. And I was dumbfounded by that. I was like, I never noticed that before. Because it was never in my wheelhouse. I've never walked into a bar and had every single woman in the bar come up and try and talk to me. Now, coming from my perspective, my view, in my world, I would love that. Because I'm looking for a girl to talk to, and I'm looking to try and open up some sort of relationship possibly to women in general. Like, I want to talk to you. I don't have that problem. Girls don't just come up and just want to hit on me and talk to me and give me drinks. I don't have to hide my drink. I don't have to have just one. Like, it blew my mind that had to happen. That women have to really maintain. There was a friend of mine, the same girl that was walking in the store and I walked in behind her. She was like, yeah, I wanted to drink just as much as you guys a lot of times, but I couldn't. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? She's like, when you guys are at the bar and you go shots and everybody goes and gets a bunch of shots and everybody always asks her, you want one? She's like, no. We just thought she didn't want to drink. It's not that she didn't want to drink. She didn't want to get too intoxicated and act a fool at the bar. Not only is that not classy, and like, I get it, you don't want to act like an asshole, but she was like, that's unsafe. If I acted like that, somebody could do something bad to me, and you guys might not even notice. Even though we're all friends, we're all hanging out, I could go outside and there could have been a situation, and she wouldn't have been able to defend herself or act properly or appropriately in that manner. And it never occurred to me. I was like, I thought you were just turning down shots because you didn't want to get fucked up. No, she was turning down shots because she didn't want to get too fucked up, so she couldn't act right accordingly if a situation came up. And it blew my mind. I was like, wow, I never thought of that because I've never had to deal with that. That was never in my wheelhouse. So having never been sexually harassed and then getting a slight glimpse of it, I wouldn't say I'm harassed, but definitely provocative messages are coming, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want that. Stop doing that. It's already annoying, and it's only begun, well, it started a couple weeks ago. It's already to the point where I'm like, I gotta block you. Like, is this what has to happen all the time? It's just a wild and interesting dynamic. Now, to play devil's advocate, you don't have to agree with me. You don't even have to like me. If somebody puts themselves out there under the guise of a hypersexual person, like if you're putting very provocative photos out and you're doing that all the time, you're gonna get feedback, positive and negative. You're gonna get that because you're putting yourself out there. You signed up for that when you got on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok and you got the little short shorts on, the tiny top, and you're shaking your ass. There's going to be a response. You have to know that that exists in the world. Good and bad exist in the world equally. And I think sometimes we only really see and acknowledge the bad side. I think there's just as much good, but the good side's a lot quieter. But if you put yourself out there, and I see this constantly, there's girls and women out there that are posting what they want to post. They're putting themselves out how they want to put themselves out. And I don't think they're crossing a line or being hypersexual or doing any of that. But they get hypersexualized and they get too much attention from the wrong people, guys being creeps. And I'm dumbfounded by that. I'm like, do you really think that's going to work? Like, I don't understand where that thought process came from. Also, you have to understand that, guys get that too. Very much less than that. Very, very seldom, very rare. But if a guy puts himself out there and he's trying to put modeling pictures, if he's a good looking dude and he's in shape and he puts a bunch of pictures up, he doesn't necessarily garner a lot of female attention. He actually gets more dudes telling him, you're vain. What the fuck you doing? Why, nobody needs to see this. He gets negative feedback. That's a shame because, he worked hard. He's proud of himself. And he wants to put himself out there. There's just too many creeps out there, I suppose. That's, I'm not trying to make this about creeps, but man, there's a lot of creeps out there doing creepy shit. So when you see a girl posting on social media, when you see a female posting, she's not necessarily looking to be hypersexualized. She's just proud of her body, wants to show the world, like, look at my hard work. Look what I've done. Look how amazing I look. She's looking for positive feedback and encouragement. She's not looking to be a dirty sex slave. But somehow dudes twist that in there. And I'm sure it's not just dudes. I'm sure there's other females that are just as dirty doing gnarly shit out there, but they're fewer and further between by a ton. It's just interesting to me that I've come to this point where I'm sure that I was a creepy young man. I'm sure, when I was going through my late teens, early 20s, I was dogging on girls and I was cornering them and talking to them. Like I thought I was being slick and getting somewhere when in reality, I was probably just bothering them. And they just were like, dude, just go away. I just want to hang out with my friends. I don't want to have to deal with you. And I was just wildly unaware of that. So it was an interesting perspective. And I now that I'm older and I don't want to act that way anymore. And I really hold my tongue and I try not to comment, or when I do comment, I make sure that I'm not trying to be sexual with it. I'm usually trying to be funny, and I'm usually trying to be joking, or at least give a positive feedback to it. It's more that I see a lot of dudes not behaving that way. And I don't know where in society we've started to lose grip, where guys think sending dick pics randomly is okay. We're having extramarital relationships or cheating or having multiple relationships is the status quo. Having a side chick is the status quo. When did that become a thing? Like, I know that's kind of always been around, but why is that a thing now? What has happened in society where this is crazy? There's a Facebook friend of mine. I don't know her personally. I only know her on Facebook. She's a model. She's a very attractive lady. And she's actually selling something on Facebook Marketplace. I think it was on Marketplace. It might have been on Craigslist. I don't even know. But she was selling something online, and a dude messaged her, and he was really starting to dog on her. And she's like, I have a boyfriend. I'm only interested in selling this. The guy wouldn't stop and just kept like, I'll buy this, and then I'll give it back to you just because I got money, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. And it was cringe as shit, and even I was cringing. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, she's obviously not digging this. Like, and then she posted the whole exchange on Facebook so you could read all his return comments. And not even halfway through, I was like, bro, what are you doing? Why? Like, obviously that's not going to work. Are you interested in what she's selling, or are you just trying to talk to her and get in? Because she's not answering DMs and stuff. She's very pretty and in a relationship, wants nothing to do with other dudes in that way. And this guy he wasn't just shooting a shot. He was emptying the magazine. He was just, bah, 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 bah. Like, don't shoot your shot. He's just dropping mags. Reload. Bah, bah, bah. Like, bro, that ain't working. Don't do that. It's remarkable to me that guys do not see what they're doing. They do not know or are completely unaware of how their actions are causing females to feel. And we wonder why so many women out there are like, are there any good dudes left? Well, yeah, there are. But you only run into the assholes that are emptying magazines instead of the one good guy shooting his shot because he's probably too shy, bashful, or he's just waiting in the wings. Like, there's too many girls around you. You're not approachable. I think you're out of my league. I'm not getting in there. Even if I try, I'm going to get shot down. I don't want to get shot down. It'll hurt my ego. But there's got to be a weird balance in there where, you can find the good guys. Because if you're just dealing with dudes that are sending dick pics and being outlandish with messages and social media posts, those are not typical representatives of all dudes. That's not all of us. It is a good portion. I'd say that's 35% of men do stupid shit like that. But the rest of us, the majority, not like that. And actually, out of that majority, there's even a percentage that even not, are less likely to approach or say something. We're not all creeps, for sure, but we're definitely not all players. It's unfortunate that women run into this wall of idiots shooting their shots way too much, way too often, and it's literally making all dudes look terrible. Conversely, these women are afraid of men like that and are concerned for their own safety because there are creeps out there and there are those players out there and there are guys out there looking to do bad things. Again, not the majority of us, not all of us, but definitely a bunch. And they can't just do simple things. Like, I just want to go for a run in the evening because it's nicer out, it's cooler out. Running at night's fun, as long as there's lights and you can see. Especially in the summertime, it doesn't get dark till like 9:30. To go out at like 8, 9 p.m. and it's still light out, twilight time, and go for a jog or something. Like, I'd go for a walk. I don't run. But I'd go for a walk, and I'd never think twice about that. But so many women want to do that, and they can't because they're concerned about their safety. And even in a safe town, like a small town that I live in, there's still a concern there about something bad happening, and it's unfortunate. It's wildly unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that girls can't just do what they want to do when they want to do it because dudes are out there fucking it up. And I really wish that I could put my finger on the pulse of, hey, it's this. This caused it and this does it. I don't know. I think there's a multitude of things that cause it, and I think a lot of things in this society are kind of askew. And it's unfortunate, There's too many creeps out there giving dudes a bad name, and too many women are running into that, so they think all dudes are like that. And then there's other horrible motherfuckers out there doing terrible fucking things, scaring the shit out of girls. They don't even want to go out. They don't even want to leave their house. They don't want to go be involved unless they have a group and a security net around them, which then when they do that makes them inaccessible to the good guys. I point at me like I'm a good guy. I might not be. But that makes them inaccessible to the good guys that are just a little bashful, want to shoot a shot, are going to treat them right, are going to treat them well, but they can't get through that safety net now. So now there's even less interaction between nice girls and nice guys. There's less of that mingle. And I think the filter, I did not just pick my nose. I just have an itch right here on my nostril. I'm not that gross. I just want to wipe. Like, there we go. Better. I think the media that we have, I'm pointing at my computer, my laptop right here, the filters we can put on, the fake shit that we can put on, and how bold some people are behind a keyboard when you would never be that bold out in real life. And I pride myself on trying to be just as real in real life as I am on this camera right now talking to you. It boggles my mind that so many women have to put up with so much bullshit, and that so many guys out there are doing creepy shit. And that the guys that aren't doing creepy shit are getting labeled as creeps or pervs because they can't interact without having that label put on them. Like, I just want to DM you. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. And girls are like, I've heard that a million times. Creep, get away from me. Come up with something original. Well, that's all I got is I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. Unfortunately, too many dudes already burned those bridges, and that is wildly unfortunate. Anyway, it's just my thoughts on it. If you have any thoughts on the differences there and how people are treated, or any way that we can start correcting this, by all means, like, comment, share, comment the most, share to all your friends, spread this video out. I want to see everybody's opinions on this. I think it's interesting, and I think it's sad. I think it's an interesting topic, But it's also a sad topic, and it's a way that we need to do something to fix this and open up lines of communication, make women feel safer, let men know how to communicate without being pervy creeps, and try and merge us back together and be more personable. I don't want to say intimate, but I want to say less distant through devices and more personal in the real world. We got to break down these barriers. We got to figure out how. We need to raise young boys right. We need to raise young women right. We need to raise everybody right, regardless of what you identify as or what gender you are. You need to be raised right. You need to respect other people. You need to know how your actions affect them. And you need to just basically be kind all the time until you're made to not be. You know, you do have to stand up for yourself. We can't raise all victims. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to stand up for yourself. But we shouldn't raise bullies either. You know, there's a fine balance there between right and wrong, and you got to be on the line, you know. Just my thoughts on it. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Something's going to pop up here. I think you could subscribe here. I think there's going to be a thing. I don't know. You'll figure it out. Thanks for watching. I'll come back real soon. I got another video. I got to eat some hot sauces. And then I got another awesome video that our very first podcast venture will be coming up soon. Click this button over here. Thanks, everybody. I'll catch you real soon. Until then, peace.